Happy Saturday! Welcome back to the sewing room. I am just about to start the Sew Recreate the Look project. I've been banging on about this for years now, so let's get it done. Also, we give you guys a nice break from Cobra Corsage. I also have some new Patreon peeps to say hi to, and I am somewhat prepared today. That never happens. First up is the very lovely Kirsten Borgru. I'm sorry if I've said your name incorrectly, but welcome to the Patreon peeps and thank you very much for joining. And the lovely Claire Curtis has bought me a coffee. Thank you, Claire. So I filmed all the waffly intro bit for the Sew Recreate the Look video, and now I need to sew up the muslin. I think this should be fairly simple. I think this pattern's going to fit me. I had pretty good luck with deer and doe patterns in the past. The Belladonna dress, I did have to kind of like tweak the back opening because the top panels gaped a little bit, so I had to like pinch out a wedge of fullness from there. But other than that, the Belladonna pattern fitted me pretty well right from the get-go. I'm kind of hopeful that this isn't going to need another round of muslins, but we shall see. Like, one of the things I am worried about is I've had to add a different amount of length to each of the deer and doe patterns I've traced out. The Bruyere, the Magnolia and the Luzerne trench coat, they all need a different amount of lengths adding to the bodice, which I think is a bit odd because they're obviously all drafted from the same block. So I'm a little worried that I might have got that wrong, but we shall see, and I will only find out by actually making the thing up. So let's get on with that.
A few moments later.
So really quickly, I have sewn up the muslin for the deer and doe Magnolia. I'm not going to show you any more than this because I am doing a separate video on the recreate the Pinterest dress look, which this pattern is for. That one will be coming out really soon. I am going to sew the rest of the muslins now. I was going to do it tomorrow during the hangout, but I just suddenly thought, you know what, let's get it done now, and then that way during the hangout I can do one of the other projects, maybe the 7573. Then on Monday I can get the cutting table out in full cutting table configuration so I can cut out the two dresses that I'm hoping to make from that 10 meters of fabric. It might sound daft, but I think it's going to be a really good thing to have a long sleeve dress for sort of more formal events, and then have the, oh, I haven't told you this, have I? I think I'm going to be doing two dresses out of the fabric, so one that's exactly like the Pinterest look and then one that's going to be a more wearable everyday version of it as well. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to get on with the next muslin.
20 minutes later.
Muslin number 2 is done. This is the Bruyere shirt. I am really pleased with how this has come out, actually. It's nicely fitted. Again, please excuse the slightly pointy kind of darts. Obviously in a calico I haven't gone to lots of effort to make sure that they're nice and smooth with loads of pressing. I've added 2 3/4 inches of length to this, and I need it. The waistband is sitting on my waist. This shirt obviously comes with like a fitted waistband and then the skirt that goes over the top. I don't need to add any length to the skirt, although I might add a little. I don't want it to look disproportionate, because when I did my Kelly anorak I added all the length in the top which I needed, and then I didn't add anything to the bottom, and it ended up looking a little bit disproportionate. So if I feel that I need it, I might add a little bit to the skirt, but I think the skirt actually does come down quite low, having remembered that I measured it, which is why I haven't cut it out of muslin. Yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm really happy with this. I think this fits nicely. There's no pulling at the bust over the button placket. Yeah, really pleased with this. So this is another one that I can get cut out. I want to make this one out of the Mulberry viscose Cobra Corsage. I sent some images over to Lady McElroy for them to use for promotional materials at the shows and on their, you know, social media and things like that. And as a thank you, they have given me an extra 3 meters of the Mulberry Cobra Corsage on the viscose base, and it's currently in the tumble dryer. So in total I have 8 meters of that fabric, which I'm really pleased about because I really want a dress, and I really want this shirt, and I would like to try and get a 3/4 circle skirt out of that as well, because I think the 3/4 skirt, the circle skirt over the top of the Bruyere shirt is going to look really nice and make it look like a shirt dress, sort of. Obviously the shirt and the skirt could be worn independently, and then I will have the dress as well, because I have in total 8 meters of that fabric. So yeah, muslin number 2 is a great success, so fingers crossed the Luzerne trench coat comes out just as well. Let's get that one done and see how we go.
1 hour later.
Okay, final muslin for the day is the Luzerne trench coat. I haven't done the sleeves because I have measured the sleeves. The sleeves are going to fit me fine. I just wanted to see how the rest of this would fit, and I think that's pretty damn good. And again, the waist is sitting where I want it to, which is, like I say, it's just bizarre that I've added, I think, 1.5 inches to this one, and the other, like the Bruyere was 3 inches, and then 2.75 inches, and then the Magnolia was 2 inches. Oh, I'm really pleased with this. Really pleased with this. Let's have a, yeah. I was a bit worried about the hip width because I need the waist to be 4 sizes smaller than I need the hips, but that's worked out really well. I don't think it looks odd at all. I'm really pleased. So that's 3 successful muslins. But you know what? If I had just gone ahead and cut them straight out of the fabric, then something would have gone wrong. So I'm really glad that I have done them in muslins. I always tell Mum this. I'm always like, make a muslin, and then I go ahead and kind of like cut into precious to me fabrics with patterns that are new to me. But like I say, they tend to be either Vogue or McCall's, or sometimes Butterick, and those three, the block that they all draw from fits me really well. The only real alteration I need to do is add length to the torso, and usually it's 1 inch of length. Vogue, sometimes it's a little bit less because sometimes they are drafted slightly for a slightly longer frame. Don't know why that is, but yeah, I can generally get away with not doing a muslin for Vogue, Butterick and McCall's because I've made so many of them now that I know the kind of like things that I need to look for those kind of patterns. So usually it's just, do I like the style? And if I like the style on the envelope, it's pretty much that I'm gonna like it when I finished it. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but the majority of times it does. But with the Deer and Doe patterns, like I say, because I had to add a different amount of length to each of the bodices, I was a little bit concerned that I was doing something wrong, that I was measuring wrong or something like that. But it's worked out really well. Like I say, the waist on all 3 of them that I've done today is sitting exactly where I want it, which is awesome. I have to kind of just trust myself that I know what I'm sort of doing. The way that I work out the length of a bodice is my measurement from the kind of like, if you put your head forward, you can feel like there's a knobbly bit on the back, one of your vertebrae. So from there to my waist is 17 inches. The way that I measured this is the back yoke piece, I took the seam allowance off, and then the back piece here, I took the seam allowance off and then measured how long they were. I needed to add, I think, like I say, I think it was 1.75 inches to this one. I can't remember exactly, and I've put the pattern pieces away now. But I then added length to it to get it to be 17 inches long in the torso from the back of my neck to my waist. So that's what I've done with all 3 of the patterns, is measure that back point, because all 3 of the patterns have a high, you know, all 3 patterns came up to the back of my neck, so I could do that. If you're trying to do like a strappy sundress where the back comes down to here, slightly different. But again, the ones of those that I've made tend to have been Vogue and McCall's patterns particularly, and I already know that those blocks I tend to need to add. So you kind of get used to the alterations that you have to make to specific companies. Really pleased with this. So I am going to get all of these cut out probably on Monday. I am going to be using a black brushed cotton twill for the Luzerne trench coat. I don't actually have a smart black coat. I have my Monoro, which I love and I wear all the time, but that is like a sort of like a more casual coat, so I'm really looking forward to having a smart black coat. I'm going to interline this trench coat with the remaining Cobra Corsage Lena crepe, of which I think I have more than enough to do that. I might even have enough of both fabrics actually to do a Sorrento jacket as well, because I'm kind of thinking that might be quite cool. Yeah. So yeah, this one is going to be a black brushed cotton twill that I got from fabric.com. I will link to it down below, but you can't, if you're in the UK, you can't order it from fabric.com anymore. You have to order it through Amazon, and the price is not the same. And then the final one will be the Deer and Doe Magnolia in the amazing print that Alexandra sent me. And I've just remembered I haven't shown you, well, this video I showed it on the Recreate the Look one. So I've got some of this amazing rayon, and when I say some, I have 10 meters of it. So I'm going to hopefully cut out the full-length Magnolia with these sleeves, and then the same bodice but with the flutter sleeves, and then a full circle skirt as well. I'm hoping I can get that out of the 10 meters because I will wear both dresses, and we all know that I repeat prints quite happily, so yeah, but that's been a really successful day. I am very, very pleased with everything that I've got done. I still have a lot of cobra corsage left to cut out. I do have a lot of cobra corsage left to cut out, but I also have a lot to sew up. We'll see what I get done tomorrow in the hangout. Like I say, I think I'm going to work on the 7537. I think that's going to be fun. Then on Monday I'll get my deer and doe projects cut out, and then I'll be 3 deer and doe projects, because my deer and doe projects are my Make 9 projects. There's a video about those up here, so I will, once I've got those 3 done, now I'll have 3 ticked off and 6 to go, so, and it'll be March, which bodes really well for me actually completing all 9 this year, so very happy with that. Right, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Kind of looks like I'm wearing one of those like aprons that people wear in ateliers, like the, you know, the white ones to cover things up, but obviously, you know, just some calico. I'll hang these up, and I will be back down here tomorrow for the hangout, and I will be back in here on Monday cutting out some projects, so I shall see you then. Bye. Good morning, lovely peeps. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the sewing room. As you can see, muslins are back there. I am going to sew up the 7537 during the live hangout today. I won't get it all done. That dress will take me a day with no waffle, so with all the chatting with the peeps, it will definitely not get done during the hangout, but I hope I can get all the little fiddly bits done, like the sleeves and the ruffles and the drawstring, and maybe get the bodice together. We'll see. We shall see. So I am a little bit early. It's 11:25. I've been sort of like doing an 80s 90s movie marathon recently. Watched Pretty Woman last night. I think I'm going to watch A Runaway Bride now, because you know what? Let's have a little bit more Richard Gere. Oh, this is 9 years later. Richard Gere and Julia Roberts reunited. Yeah, I'm going to watch a bit of that. Before I do that though, the very lovely Nadia has bought me some coffee. So thank you, Nadia. That was very lovely of you. Now I'm going to watch Runaway Bride.
Later.
I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but the background has changed yet again. So we started out the hangout, and I got the ruffle sewn. And that's all I've done, because we started playing around with fabric. The peeps wanted a sneaky peek at the lemon collection, which has now been rechristened the citrus collection, because all my orange prints have gone in there, of which I have 2 with oranges on, and then some orange viscose has gone in there as well. And then they wanted to see the roses, which have moved over there, and then we decided that we should get out all the leaf fabrics from my stash and put them in their own collection as well. So this is the green, and all the leaves with green on, and then that bit there is all the other coloured leaf fabrics I have. And the peeps were quite surprised by how few leafy fabrics there were. There are lots of other fabrics with leaves on them, but they also have flowers on them, so that was the distinction. These are leaves and leaves only, although there is one in there, there's a silk in there that's got pineapples on it, but we decided that could count, that could count as leaves. So yeah, it's been a really fun hangout. It's 5 hours of just chatting and playing with fabric and a tiny amount of sewing. So I think what we've decided, well, what I decided, we were chatting away, is I'm going to get the 7537 finished tomorrow, and then I am going to start my next cutting out session, even though I've not worked my way through all the projects that I have cut out in the last cutting out session, because I've got all the muslins done, and I would really like to get cobra corsage done and dusted by the end of this month. I do have 2 lengths of cobra corsage that I won't be able to cut into. One is the velvet, because I don't have the pattern yet, and the other one is the canvas drill, because I haven't perfected the Lander pant trousers yet, and I won't be working on those until I've lost a little bit more weight. So those 2 are going to go back into the stash, but other than that, all of my cobra corsage by the end of this month should be sewn up, and you should be not having to see snakes anymore. And I think I'm leaning towards doing lemons, the citrus collection, next, I think, but we shall see. I am going to call it a night now. It is 5:15. I am hungry. I'm going to go and make myself some dinner. I am going to finish watching The Runaway Bride, because I only got half an hour into it this morning, obviously, because half an hour before the the live hangout happened. So yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get some editing done this evening, and that is going to be me. So that was the last couple of days. I hope you have enjoyed the little bit that I have filmed. I feel very productive, even though this afternoon was spent playing with fabric. It was so much fun and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, so I hope you guys did too. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye and I'll see you very soon. Bye!